Hey everybody, this is Matt with I Am Home Inspections. I just wanted to make a quick video geared towards inspectors that aren't familiar with mini split systems and people that live in units with mini split systems or homeowners. They are becoming very popular. We're seeing them more and more. So I just wanted to go over some kind of tips and tricks for inspectors, but also maintenance points for homeowners. You can see the mini split here behind me, Pioneer brand. Um, there's going to be a lot of different brands. Something the inspectors will have trouble with is noting all these different brands. Some of them are very hard to establish when they were built because they don't publish manufacture dates based on their serial number. Other certain things that people aren't aware of is they actually have filters in them. And there's actually something this is more for inspectors is there's condensate drains. So those are two things that you really don't want to overlook, and I'll go over those and a few more things here in a second. So I just turned the unit on. Something that you may find odd is there's a switch located pretty high in the wall, and often these units will have sort of a kill switch. So watch me hit it here. And you can see that it slowly turns the power off. The next thing is the filter location. So these little covers in the front actually come off. There's plastic tabs that you want to be very gentle with. And you can see the filters here. So these you don't, like a typical split system, you would actually have like paper elements and you'd throw those away. These are more of a screen that you can wash them and dry them thoroughly and put them back. So you can see this unit has two here. This is pretty typical. But you definitely don't want to neglect these. As far as condensate drain, you should see it at the outdoor unit where it comes out. It should be typically a plastic tube, very small in diameter. These sometimes will have problems with overflowing because the condensate line gets clogged. So you may see water kind of dripping down or pooling in an area. This particular unit did have a leak at one point. It's really hard to see now because it's been painted over. But if you see this photo, you can see it's very hard to see, but there's a green line streaking down where it had leaked before. These units too can also have a problem with too much condensation, and if you don't clean the backside of these little plastic louvers, you can get some biological growth buildup here. I'll show you a photo here in a second. And you can see how bad that can get. So that's something that you really want to pay attention to. Okay, so as far as the remote control, these are all different. A lot of them are a little confusing because they don't actually have words for what you want as far as the mode. There'll be symbols. So all of them pretty much will have just a fan setting. An auto, cool, this one actually says cool, but usually it's a snowflake. A dry setting to kind of dehumidify the area, and a heat setting. This particular unit has a turbo mode where you can put a fan on like an extra full blast. LED would just be to turn on and off this display for the temperature, and a bunch of other different options. Okay, so now let's go outside and look at the outdoor unit. We're going to have this running in the meantime, so we'll get to see it operating. Okay, here we are at the outdoor unit. It's actually on. These are pretty quiet, so I don't know if you can hear the fan running / see it. It's got everything we need here. We have this disconnect in case anyone needs to work on the unit. There's a pullable fuse disconnect for safety. Refrigerant lines here. You may notice this is for the inspectors, but there's actually both of these lines have been insulated. So typically on a regular split system, the larger line, the suction line, will be insulated, but the liquid line, the smaller line, won't usually be insulated. Each one of these can sweat, so we don't want any moisture building up inside the wall, which is why they're both insulated, to keep that sweating outside of the away from the wall cavity. You also notice these are a little bit damaged as well. So another thing is these units are lighter than standard split systems, so they usually have some kind of bolting. This is a really nice concrete pad, and it's been bolted front and back, so there shouldn't be any chance of movement for this unit. Then there are other things to consider, like a regular air conditioner is keeping clearance. So there's a decent amount of clearance back here for this thing to breathe. You do want to keep any kind of weeds and stuff growing out of it. And if you are going to use any sort of weed whacker, you want to make sure you're very careful not to shoot any of these rocks into the fan or any of the fins, because that would damage the unit and affect the performance greatly. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you guys have any questions. So this is something interesting. If you have a remote that's not working for whatever reason, or is perhaps out of batteries, there's a way to kind of force the unit on to test to see if the unit can work still. So this is a little test button. It's auto/cool.